So you've read the title already, and obviously you know it's about lighting today, but I just remembered that in my camera bag, yeah, I still got my old light that, it wasn't my very first light that I ever got, but it's probably one of the first ones that I used when I started to create the YouTube videos about a year and a half ago, something like that. Just see, I mean, look at it, it's still kept up pretty well. So we need to still have a battery in it or something. Does it? Does it? No, it does. Look at that. And I haven't used this in, I want to say maybe something like a year, possibly. Probably less than that, maybe like 8 months. I mean, that's pretty good, that. I mean, look, it still works and everything. That's a good product, that. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad, actually. I'm quite surprised. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to talk you through basically my lighting journey, shall we call it, from when I first started YouTube. So obviously, I just showed you that. But I'll take you through from that to my other lighting setups, to how I set them up in my room, to maybe not what I got right now, what I'm using right now. I might do that in a different video, just keep the suspense there. But anyway, I'm thinking, let's talk about the lighting setup, what I did, what you can do if you want to save some money. You don't want to get some big professional lighting setup if you don't want to. And I mean, you might be a little surprised because you might have possibly some of these things in your house, maybe not. If not, we'll work it out, we'll see. But anyway, let's go on with the intro. Okay, so like I said before the intro, we're going to be going through basically my history of lighting setups from when I started the YouTube videos. And I mean, just off the bat, I will say that it's varied a lot depending on my situation and the environment I'm in. Because of right now, obviously, so I feel like this is now this is my setup view that you'll be seeing. At least for what I think probably will be a long while, because you know, I set up the shelf things, that was in a previous video a while back. I worked out where I want my lights and kind of just the orientation of them. I mean, I do feel like I don't like the shadowing going on there, but I mean, I can fix all that later on. Not that big of an issue. I like the fact that, you know, I'm liking the lighting setup that I've got right now. Also, depending how much you've seen from this channel, you may have seen me quite a lot of the time being outside in, you know, a couple of different parks, maybe in the same park a lot of the time, out in town sometimes. So obviously then I can't bring up, like, you know, some big lighting setup, so I will use something depending on the lighting situation. I used to use this quite a bit. Of course, sometimes you kind of work out and plan your day a little bit better maybe. So maybe you'll film a bit more earlier in the morning just so you can use the natural light instead of maybe putting off the filming till a bit later, and then you might have to use this. And then, I mean, it's not like this will give you some bad lighting, it's just it might not give you the favorable lighting that you may want, which has actually happened a couple times. I do remember one time, it was actually in the car. Now here's the thing, you really can't take photographs anywhere, so anywhere can be a studio. This is ours for this little shoot. So the idea is, get one of these out. We have our character. Like I was saying before, I wanted to be a pumpkin because I feel like that would have been a bit better, you know, with the orange. But you know, you got to work with what you got. Guys, tried a couple different things. Tried the leaf thing, tried the donut thing, then the donut didn't work thing. I even tried, obviously it was a bit of dark lighting as well, that didn't work either. So as you saw, the lighting there isn't amazing, it's not impressive. And you know what, I will admit, I did put off a little bit of filming at that time because I did want a bit more of a darker scene, because obviously it was a Halloween video. I feel like the darkness makes sense there, but obviously it didn't go fully to plan. So I did use, well, I tried to use this, didn't work out too well, so I'll just end up using the natural car light. It wasn't amazing, so I'm not going to include that as one of my methods of lighting up a video because that was kind of a spur of the moment thing. But anyway, let's carry on. So bringing this back up again, literally when I first started using this, I was planning on doing a lot of running and gunning kind of photography and videography, things where this will literally attach to my camera, it will literally follow me everywhere. And this, I mean, it does a decent, I mean, if I, you know what I mean? Look at that. It's actually decent. Obviously, I've got other lighting right now, but generally, you can see the difference it's making. You know what I mean? Even if I put that there, slightly takes away some of that shadowing. So, you know, it can be useful for quite a few different things. specifically, I just had this on the camera and it just followed me, and it did a pretty good job. It did a decent job, but I will say one issue coming from this is you do have to charge it, and it's one of those things where, I mean, it did hold a decent charge sometimes, whereas some other times I'll leave this on charge for a good maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, because obviously the indicator, it wasn't always full, so it didn't really tell me it was fully charged. But anyway, I'd leave on for 2-3 hours, come back to it, start using it again, ready to film a part of a video, and then it might die after about 20 minutes. So it's not amazing all the time. However, I would say, you know, this was a nice little thing for me to get into right at the beginning, and just give me a little taste of a form of lighting that I could have used and I still use sometimes today. And I would say this did kind of start me off with my learning process for the type of lighting that I wanted for my videos. So I will say I'm glad I did use this. I'm glad I still have it, and I still keep it in my bag, as you just saw. Still keep it on me just in case I do ever need it. But I mean, it's one of the things where, like I said, it's a bit on and off. Honestly, I'm actually quite surprised I still hold some power in it. It's been, like I said, a couple of months. I didn't expect that. But anyway, let's move on. So next is actually, I'd say, kind of an odd one. It's one that you may not associate with lighting and photography. Well, obviously you'd associate with lighting, but not specifically the photography element of it or videography element, because it's literally a big just light panel that's supposed to be like for your, you know, for your ceiling and stuff. It's actually that kind of lighting. It's not supposed to be for, you know, like moving and photography and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I will admit this was actually an amazing light. It still is actually, because I mean, look how big it is. It's nice and wide. It's nice and even as well, because as you can see, it's just a one big white panel, so it gives you some nice even lighting. However, I will say, like I said, this isn't supposed to be used for like moving and all that kind of stuff, because the edges, metal, kind of sharp. I mean, not sharp, you can't really grip it for too long, because if it does start to get heavy, the metal digs into your hand a little bit. Not that comfortable. Also, that's one end of the wire that you need to plug in, and the other end, I'll show you now, and this is the other end. As you can see, it's all exposed, and obviously you should not be using this kind of stuff. That's why I stopped using it. It kind of broke off. I mean, it wasn't good. I mean, obviously the transformer thing is exposed. I mean, you could actually plug it in and use it, but it's not safe, so it's not something, and it's not, I wouldn't even use the word recommend. It's just something that you shouldn't use. So that's kind of one bad side to this, so I had to stop using that. However, in a previous video I did show you this little thing. It's like a light box, and I mean, it's good for what I used it for. And I think, to be honest, the actual product photography shots I got on my Instagram, I mean, I feel like they're, you know, pretty professional. And even what's actually pretty cool is I actually got a message from Instagram from each of those posts I posted. I'm pretty sure it says something like, can you just confirm that this isn't a product or advertisement or something on the lines of, I'll throw a screenshot up somewhere. And I mean, that's basically telling me Instagram thinks that those shots were professional and look like advertisements, so I'm gonna take that as a positive. So I mean, it's all winning there. So anyway, this one is pretty simple as well. It's literally, just open it up, and I mean, I've shown you in the previous video, but it's literally a box, got your LED light ring there. You obviously make the box, and again, the good thing about having and using this was obviously I could put my tripod through there and it'd hold it, and also because it is just, again, just a bunch of white panels that the light is bouncing off, it gave me some pretty good even lighting. However, I will say these kind of locking flip things that this locks into, I'll show you now. So it's like that. I'm only going to do one. If you do them all, it's quite annoying, so I'll just show you one. But it's like that, and I mean, right now that looks sturdy, kind of, but all you gotta do is, if you start lifting it up, you move it somewhere, you put it on the podium without moving it anymore. It's already come out kind of on this side, and I mean, that side, it's still locked in that side, but naturally once that falls out, it becomes like that, and then it will just break up. It's not good. Well, I'm saying it's not good. It's a great light box and it does its job, but you can't really use it for the lighting that we're going to use. You know, if you're going to do like a tutorial or something, or you're talking to the camera, because there have been times where it's fallen down, it's slipped, and I mean, just to be honest, it's just not that sturdy when you're trying to keep up or around this level, this height, and you got nothing to keep on. I was using tripods, but issue with that is, depending on the kind of tripod you have, if you got something like this one, which I was using, it's quite small head for it to grip onto. Do you know what I mean? I'll show you. So kind of like this. So I'd usually have it resting on the side, something like that, and obviously the light will be on, and it's fine if you leave it and it's just resting like this, something like that. Do you know what I mean? Kind of just on the edge. And you know, it's kind of annoying because right now it's staying on fine, and you might be thinking, oh, that's all right, but I'm telling you, usually when you just set this up, it wouldn't. This is actually the longest it's probably stayed while me holding it. It's actually quite impressive. But anyway, as you can see up here, it's already starting to come out. Like I was saying, it kind of just flips out when it wants to. It doesn't really see. Do you know what I mean? At least I'm glad that happened, because now I don't seem as crazy, because like I was saying, it's good, but it's just not the most sturdy sort of lighting equipment. Now also, what's actually quite a good piece of equipment, which to be honest, I'm a little surprised I didn't buy earlier. Maybe I was trying to save money. I was just thinking maybe I can just MacGyver all my lighting setup. But anyway, I'm glad I bought it in the end. It is one of these, and it is just a ring light. I mean, look at that. It's pretty big. Obviously you'd go around your camera like this usually. Obviously you try and keep it out of frame if you can, so it'd be around there somewhere. But I mean, it's pretty decent, and the light you get from it is pretty good, and it has a bunch of settings as well. So you can have literally like the light box, you can obviously increase the light, decrease it, and switch it from a warm color or a cold color. So you know, it's got some decent settings to it, and it's actually pretty decent. And the good thing about this light also is, obviously it's made obviously as a piece of photography equipment, so it does attach to your tripods, so you actually can have this anyway. You can have it on this side, this side. What I usually do with this light, I'd stick this on this side, and I'd have it on a bit of a warmer color, maybe cold depending on how I'm feeling, but generally it's a warmer color on this side. I'd stick the light box up here on this side. That'd give me my main source of lighting. This will just give me a bit of coloring on this side. It looked pretty nice, because usually, I mean, what it is advertised is it should go, like I said, around your camera, but I just feel like, because I stand around here, because I like the distance I'm getting right now. However, by having the light here, it doesn't give off an amazing amount of light, so the lighting's, it's just not touching me that much, and it's not doing that well. If I could have it here, it'd be decent, it'd look alright, but obviously look, it's in frame and the magic is gone of the lighting, so you don't want to put it right there. Actually, you know what, instead of me telling you about where I'm doing all the lighting and all that kind of stuff, I might as well just show you how I set up my lighting, or use to set up my lighting on a daily basis for the videos. Let's go into that. Alright, so here you can see is where my tripod is, and usually my camera is on here facing me like it was a second ago, and to the left of it here you can see the tripod I was just talking about holding up the light box. And I mean, it's a bit bright, but you might be able to tell that it is giving me kind of a soft glow almost on the left side of me, which is kind of what I want. So I mean, it does look a bit shabby, it doesn't look that impressive, and you might be thinking it looks a little stupid, but I'm telling you, it works, so I have no complaints about it. And then on the right side here you can see I've got my ring light on the side, and obviously here, because it's on the right side of me on this way, it's giving me almost a golden look on this side, just like an orangey tone on this side of me. And you know what, it does kind of work, it looks nice, and again, because it's round and it's kind of close to me, look, as you can see. So if I show you actually, so if I hold my camera around here, so this is where the camera is usually, it'll be in this kind of direction. You can actually already kind of tell I've got kind of an almost orange side here on the right. On the left side it's kind of more neutral, a bit more whiter, so you can see there's definitely split toning right there. So that's why I have this set to orange, this set to neutral. I know it does a decent look. I mean, also ideally I'd have it a bit more close so it's a bit more intense, maybe somewhere around there maybe. Obviously I've got nothing to rest it on, so it's just got to rest as close as possible, something like that. And I guess, yeah, it's usually something like this. I mean, I would alter this a little, because as you can see it is facing upwards, which isn't good. I kind of need it to face downwards, but it does slip upwards, as you can see. Yeah, not much I can do about that. But yeah, so that is how I would usually have my lighting set up when I'm standing. Now I'll show you what it looks like when I'm on the computer. Let's go. So this is a setup I had for quite a while, but like I said, for this panel the wire got all dodgy, so I'm just showing you this just for a couple seconds just so I can show you the type of light I was getting. And as you can see, it looks pretty nice. It's pretty bright. Also, because of how wide it was, it gave me some nice soft even lighting. So it's a shame that it broke, but I mean, it's one of the things that, you know, it's just not safe anymore, so you just can't do it. But you know what, I'll show you now the more recent setup I had with obviously the light box I was using, and just how that looked. I'll admit it was not as good, but it's something that, you know, I just had to do. But anyway, this is what it looked like. And here we go. I mean, it's not an amazing light and setup, and it doesn't give me obviously as wide of a light that I had with the other panel, but I mean, it's safer, it does the job. And also up here, this is obviously where I keep the ring light now, so when I am facing this way talking to the camera, which is usually right on there, this gives me a nice over the head light. It looks nice. This one gives me a nice just front facing light. So I'll show you exactly where the camera would be, somewhere around there, I think. So this is what it'd look like. Obviously this will be up usually, and I've got like Premiere open on that side, but obviously I've got light on this side, light coming down, like I was just saying, and it looks okay, it looks kind of nice. Obviously I've got that, again, that color difference from the orange to the more neutral. And also usually I'd have this light on, just adds a bit of, you know, something different, the nice blue on the wall. I might add that light sometimes over there, just again, just a backlighting. But as a setup for when I'm sat down, I don't think it's not amazing, but it's not that bad. And obviously, I mean, it doesn't look too awful, like, especially when I get close to the light. And the main thing was, as long as I was separated from the background, I didn't blend in with it. And obviously I'm lit well, kind of on both sides. And I would say also one thing that I wanted to be key for when I was setting up the lighting was kind of just how easy it was. That one's not as easy, that one's super easy, I just leave it there. But generally, as a sitting down lighting setup, this actually wasn't too bad. It's alright, not the best, I'll admit, but it did the job. Alright, and that is the video, and I hope you liked it, and I hope you did enjoy my little run through from the history of my lighting setups for the past year and a half, because it's been one of the things where, I mean, yeah, I really could have honestly just bought some professional lighting setup and just used that for the year and a half. I will admit that would have been much easier, and it would have been, yeah, much simpler for me to just do that, because I mean, 2 minutes I just timed myself just to see how long it would have took for me to set up my lighting I got now. For one stand it took I think about 4 minutes. Isn't too bad. Like, I wasn't rushing, I wasn't doing it too slowly, I was just thinking, let's just see how quick I can do it. 4 minutes isn't too bad for one light. I mean, when it came to something like this, because you have to do, obviously, open it, balance it, connect it and all that kind of stuff, that took maybe by itself, I want to say something like 8 to 10 minutes, maybe something around that. And I'm not really, I feel like I'm not exaggerating too much. I feel that's pretty realistic, 8 to 10 minutes for that one light. I mean, obviously had other lights, I mean this light as well. This one wasn't that it took a long time to use, it's just obviously it's got no stand to it, so when I was balancing it, like I was showing over there, sometimes it fall forward a bit, sometimes back a bit too much, so, you know, you have to find the right balance. So they each come with their perks and pros, I'd say. But I will say that I did find for the past year and a half, I honestly did like and I did enjoy just trying to make and create my own lighting using things that obviously that are not typically your own form of lighting, because I do like the fact that, yeah, this panel gives me either, you know, a nice wide or I'd say a long light to give me, which I used to use on this side for a short period of time. It did really well. Same with obviously this light right at the beginning, it gave me what I wanted. It's portable, it's what I needed at the time. I like that. That one, I like the fact that obviously I can do the different color temperatures, same with the light box. But this one again, it's portable as well, kind of. Not as portable as this little light, but still portable. It fits there really well. And like I was saying, when I'm doing my little tutorials on my computer, that's amazing. It does a really good job. And this one, it pretty much does give me the softbox effect that I've kind of wanted from when I wanted to use it. So, you know what? They've all had their pros, and like I said, all got their cons. But I will say that I'm definitely glad I've got some different lighting now, which again, super easy to set up, give me good lighting. And you know what, I will take you through what I've got, because you know, I felt like I've done enough build up right now. So right now you might be thinking, oh, what are these lights, how good are they, why did you get them? I'll show you that in a different video, maybe next week, might be the week after, we'll find out. It might be the week after that, who knows. And actually, going back to the very first question that we had, is it worth getting professional lighting kits, or can you kind of MacGyver your way through lighting? And I think, to be honest, and I don't know if this is a popular opinion with many other photographers, videographers, content creators, but I do think, and I do like the idea of using makeshift lighting. I mean, yeah, like I said, this stuff's easy, but that stuff's way more funner. And you know what, I will say that it humbles you a bit more, and in a way it teaches you about lighting and how to light kind of an area, the types of lighting you need for an area and where you are. Like I said, different environments, could be in a room, could be in a larger space than this, you could be outside where you obviously can't plug things in, possibly, so it makes you think a bit more. But anyway, also rambling on about lighting, even though that's what the whole video is about. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. I'll see you in next week's video.